Hi, I'm Gary Gill Gaming and welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at more great platformer games for the Commodore Amiga chosen by you. Some absolute classics in this lineup, and there's a couple of games here too I never played before. So let's take a look and see what games you picked. So the first game we're going to check out is Mousetrap, and this is the earliest game on the list. It was released in 1987 and published by Microvalue. Now this game is a single screen platformer where your goal is to collect all the items on the screen to activate the exit before the time runs out. It's a fun game, it looks a bit dated now, but you gotta remember this was early Amiga stuff. Great game for you to try this one. Next we have Bubble and Squeak, and this was released in 1994 by Audiogenic, and this is the CD32 version. You play as a role as a child in this game, and your goal is to guide Squeak, and he's an alien, through each level. There's puzzle elements to this game because Squeak can't jump, as high as you. It's a fun, colourful game with great music and graphics. Now we have another Audiogenic title, and this one was released in 1995, and this is Odyssey. This game itself is a platformer slash puzzle game. Your goal is to collect all the crystals in each level, and there are 7 worlds for you to conquer and explore. It's a very nice looking game with great sound effects and music and gameplay. Beavers, and this was released in 1994, and this is the CD32 version. Now Beavers is an all new game to me, and it's one I never played before, but it's a great one. Your goal is to get through each level and collect the items on your way. Not an easy game to play, but has great music and graphics. Certainly a game you need to try out. Addams Family, and this was released in 1992 by Ocean. This game is based on the movie itself. It's a fantastic game with great graphics and gameplay, and very nice music too. The only issue I ever had with this game though is where's our background. But that aside, what a classic game this is. Meth History in the Making, and this was released in 1992 and published by System 3. Now I can remember the 8-bit version of this on the Commodore 64, and you play as a teenage boy and he's walked back in time. But the Amiga version is slightly different. You play as a mystic warrior, but the game itself is pretty much the same. You fight your way through different levels, fighting enemies such as Vikings and so on. Yeah, it's a great game. Only issue I got with this one though is very hard, so this game will challenge you all the way, but certainly worth trying for yourselves. Chuck Rock, and this is the CD32 version, published by Corkers, co-designed in 1994. I played Chuck Rock for hours on my A500 back then, and it's a fantastic game. It has great graphics, music, gameplay, and also great humour. And also got love for that intro too. Alfred Chicken, and this is also the CD32 version I'm showing you, and this was released in 1993 by Mindscape. Now this is another game I never played on the Amiga, but it has great gameplay, music and colourful graphics. I've certainly been enjoying playing this one recently. Whiz and Les, and this was released in 1993 and published by Psygnosis. Now in this game you play as the role as Whiz or Les, and your goal is to try and rescue all the wabbits. Now these are like rabbit type of creatures, and you gotta get through each level and try and collect them. Also you gotta collect letters too as well. Great game, it's got great music and intro, and yeah, This is definitely one of those games you need to try for yourselves. Zool 2, and this was released in 1994, and this is the AGA version I'm showing you. Published by Gremlin Graphics. Zool is a great game, but the sequel takes it one step further. You got character selection and so on. Fantastic platformer, and you've got to love art, music and graphics in this one. Snow Brothers. Now this was originally supposed to be released in the early 90s, but never seen a light of day. But in 2006 the game was eventually found and released to the world for us to enjoy. It's a fantastic conversion onto the Amiga, but the only little issue with it is only one player. But that aside, this is practically a perfect port for the system. Next we have Putty, and this was released in 1992 and published by System 3. Now Putty is a puzzle platformer game, as you can see. It's a very colourful game, it's got great graphics and music with it too. It's quite difficult to get a hand of, be honest with you, as you can see by my gameplay, but once you master it, it's always a fun. In fact, I think this game was popular at the time because it was bundled with the A600. So we come down to our last two games, and first up is BC Kid, and this was released in 1992 and published by Ubisoft. Now this game originally was released on a TurboGrafx 16 machine, and that's a fantastic version. But then, Factor 5, the guys and girls behind the Terragun series, decided to have a go at it, and this is a cracking port from our system. It's got great music and graphics and gameplay. Hours of fun in this one. Yeah, a sheer classic to add to your Amiga collection. So the last game on the list was a very popular choice by you viewers, and it's Ghosts and Goblins, released in 1990 and published by Elite. Now we all know the story when it comes to Capcom, US Gold and the Amiga. US Gold published some really bad games for the system under the Capcom banner. That is just the way it is. But Ghosts and Goblins, US Gold didn't have their hands on it, because it was down to Elite to bring this game out, and this game came out a year later from its sequel. And it's an absolute fantastic arcade port to the Amiga. Okay, it does have a couple of little bits missing out of the original game, the arcade version, but the game itself is great. It's got great graphics and music and gameplay. It's hard as you expect it to be for a Ghosts and Goblins series of game. But yeah, I have hours of fun playing this one back in the day, and I still try to conquer it now, even though I'm not particularly good at it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the games I've shown you, and hopefully I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.